Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Redneck's Dirty Hands. I'm Pete, and today I think what we're going to be trying to do here is turning that little Tao dirt bike into the Holy Cow. And I think we're going to put those big three-wheeler tires on there, so just sitting like that, I think it looks a little ridiculous, but I think it's going to be fun. So I think what we're going to do is get rid of the suspension, and we're going to make it a rigid frame, front forks, and the rear swing arm. And then I think with those big balloon tires, we're not really going to need much suspension. They're going to have enough bounce in them, I think. So that's kind of the idea. We're here. I went to Princess Auto, and we got all kinds of different sprockets and adapters. I got some 3/4 shaft, some pillow blocks, some flange bolts. I found this old CV hub extension there, so I think I might turn that down, make that as the hub for the back wheel. We'll get started on that. Once I get that all figured out, then I got all kinds of steel tubing we'll bend up. We'll make a rear frame section out of that, and then we'll move on to the front forks. I'll strip all that stuff off of it, and we'll make front forks and adapters. I got an old three-wheeler hub and all that I can put into there, so I think we'll get going on that. We'll have some big wheels on a little bike. Got that hub basically to the size I want, so I just dropped it inside the three-wheeler rim here. There's a bit of a gap around it, so I just took some 1/4-inch bolts, put them in 4 points there. That kind of centered it. They're all fairly tight, so that should be fairly even. So I'll just mark it from the bottom side through the holes on the rim onto that. Get them drilled out. Should be tickety-boo. Got it all machined down and just welded in some studs to hold it into the wheel. Just like so. Just like that. And that fella there goes right in like that. Perfecto. JP just left and he lended a hand, and now we've got a big front wheel on there. This thing is looking just awesome. It's gonna be wicked. I guess I'll keep going on with the back. Well, JP and I got the front end all mocked up there, and then last night I've mocked up the rear frame rails and the axle. So we're making some progress on it anyway. All that is I got her all set up and welded in. I got to make some spacer collars to take up the slack. We'll put the wheel on, put the sprocket hub on. I got that made up there, so that's gonna slide on to that side. I got to make another one of these for this side to mount the brake rotor, and then I'll make up the collars of the tubing. I tapped and threaded both ends of the shaft so I can pinch it all together when it's all said and done, so everything should be tight and right and ready to go. So I'll carry on with that and see what happens. So the rear axle's all figured out. I've got the main 3/4 shaft going through. I made these collars. I've got everything spaced, so when you tighten up the outside bolts, it kind of pinches everything, holds it nice and tight. Now we just got to work on getting a jack shaft set up. I'll have to make some plates and get the flange bearing welded onto the back of the frame there. We'll try and get the chains aligned and whatnot, and maybe take this thing for a rip later on. I don't have any brakes, so that should make it interesting. And just in case if you're wondering why I've got two sprockets on there, I picked up these collars and the sprockets from Princess Auto there. And this one's a 48 tooth, this one's a 45 tooth, so I figured I could use them for playing around with the gearing. I could just flip the shaft if I wanted to, and also this one is going to double as my brake rotor, so handy dandy. well, the little Chinese Tao bike there met with the grinder and ended up chop suey. We cut off all the unwanted little tire stuff. You know, we hit it with the welder and all that. The grind hard plumbing guys there, they've got their Power Wheels build Colonel Senders. Redneck's Dirty Hands has General Tao. Oh yeah, look at that sweetie. That's a nice one. Turned out pretty good, I think. It's big tires on a little bike. Worked out pretty good. Welded up the forks. Just stuck the same tubing. Then I made the rear frame rails out. Turned the tops down in the lathe. Welded them up so they fit nice and tight in here. Clamped in, welded on there. That's all good to go. Made the frame extensions. Cool, even bonus feature is I made the kickstand there. Looks factory. Got the rear axle, the jack shaft made with the flange bearings there. They're all supported, welded in. I might play around with the gearing a little bit. She's not the snappiest out of the hole right now, but for what it is, works pretty good. I got my secondary sprocket on this side, doubling as my brake rotor. So I can play around with the gearing. I can just flip that one to the other side if I want it, but we'll see what happens. I think all we got to do is give her a splash of paint, make her look nice and good and shiny. This one's just about done. She looks wicked. I gotta say, one of the cool side effects of building this thing with the big old tires on there is that fancy kickstand that I made. Even though she looks primo, you don't really need it. If you got any kind of skills of balancing, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but we got no kickstand down and we ain't falling over. You can just hang out, shoot the breeze with your buddies, check her out, man. Whoa, going down. It's awesome. She's a pretty sweet little ride, and actually, with these big old tires on here, even though it's a rigid frame now, it rides better than what the bike did originally with the front forks and the swing arms, so that's a bonus. Now I guess we'll get her all cleaned up, we'll shine her up. I think I'll paint everything back to the orange that it is. I like the orange, it's my favorite color, so we'll clip to getting that done and take her for a rip. It still does it chewy. Alright, well, I'm over at JP's. Had to come over here to upload this video. The upload speed of my internet sucks, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, turn the notification bell on. Next video there, we'll have General Tao all painted up and shiny like a new penny, and we'll get a good full send video of her. Take her easy.